It's Casey with Spirit Flow Yoga. Um, Going to continue this beginner toolkit series. And one of the most valuable meditations that I've ever done, and I did it very early on years ago, was a sacred space meditation. Um, it was in a workshop that I did where we focused on really working to create our sacred space. I'm sorry, I'm very distracted. There's a whole lot of birds and building nests. Anyway, so within this sacred space, it was a place that we created in our minds to where we could go and just be alone with ourselves, where you pretty much shut everyone else out and the rest of the world out and just take the time that you need with you, with your thoughts, with your inner feelings. And it was a safe place to be able to go and do that. Over the years, I have gone to this place more times than I can count. Anytime that I'm unsure about what my next steps are, anytime I have a question, if I feel uneasy, if I'm just not where I think that I should be or where I want to be, I just use it as a place to check in with myself. So I thought it would be a good idea to share that with you all. So, with that in mind, we'll come into a comfortable seat of your choice and close our eyes. Start to notice our inhales and exhales. For this meditation, we're not going to focus on changing our inhales and exhales, but rather noticing them. Noticing how we feel. We'll use any sounds around us to draw us deeper into our meditation. Taking a moment before we get started to become still, to get grounded, to give ourselves the time we need to fully arrive in this moment. Make any last minute adjustments with your seat or your clothes. Anything in your environment that you need to move out of the way. If your eyes aren't closed, go ahead and close them now. Think of a time when you were happy, when you felt safe, when you felt at peace. This may be a memory from the past. It may be a hope for the future. It could be a place that you've been. It could be a place that you've seen in your dreams, on TV, in a photo. Whatever it is, it's right for you in this moment. But just think of something that brings about an overall feeling of peace and happiness. Now go there in your mind. Go to that place. Go to that moment. Notice what you hear, what you smell, what you see. Notice how you feel. As we begin to create our sacred space, we will take that feeling with us. So now I want you to picture a place that leads downward. Maybe a flight of stairs that you know that you've seen before. It could be a flight of stairs that you've never seen before. It may be a ladder or a slide, a rope, a hole in the ground. Take a moment to visualize yourself standing on top of this place that leads down. In a moment, I will start to count backwards from 10 to 1, and as I do, we will descend into this place. And when we reach the bottom, we'll be standing at the doorway to our sacred space. So we're picturing a place that leads down. Here we go. 10, you take your first step down. And with every number, you descend further. 9, 8, 7. You notice as you go down that it gets darker. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You arrive at the bottom. You arrive at the entrance of your sacred space. You notice a doorway, an entryway, an arch. There's a light that's shining from your sacred space, inviting you in. As you move towards it, it becomes brighter and the image becomes clearer. We step over the threshold and enter into your sacred space. Take in everything that you see. If at first you don't see anything, that's okay too. Just take a moment and close your eyes. Keep breathing. And as you breathe and walk around in your mind, just take in what you see. Notice if you're inside or outside. Notice the temperature of the air. Is there a breeze or is it still? Notice what colors you see. Find a place in your sacred space to sit. It may be on a piece of furniture. It may be on the earth, on the floor, on something in nature. Whatever it is, just find a place where you can take a seat. And as you come to rest here in your sacred space, know that you are held. You are held by the earth. You are loved. Continue to take in your space, knowing that this is yours, that you can come here anytime that you want, anytime that you need guidance, anytime that you need to be with yourself, to check in. This space is always available to you. Introduce yourself to your space. This may be with something that you've brought with you that you would like to share with your space. It could be something that you create inside your space while you're here today. Maybe just a thought, a word. You may use images or words, whatever is coming up for you. Just take the time to introduce yourself and listen to see if your sacred space replies in any way. If you have a question that you would like to ask while you're here in this space, go ahead and do so now. Remember, your answer may not always be in words, it could be in images. Sometimes no answer is an answer in and of itself. Sometimes the answer isn't obvious right now, and other times it is. Whatever's showing up for you is right in this moment. If you have anything that you would like to leave in your sacred space, go ahead and do that now. And if there's anything in your sacred space that you want to take with you to make it easier to find your way back, you can do that now as well. Thank your sacred space for being there for you, for showing up however it did today. We'll start to make our way back. We'll go back through the doorway. Take one last look inside your space before you go up the stairs. Take your time making your way up. And when you reach the top, we'll start to wiggle our fingers and our toes. And slowly open our eyes and take in what we see. Remembering that we can always go back, that our sacred space is always available to us, that we are always available to ourselves. Namaste.